Hello friends, welcome to Ishwar Academy. Myself Ishwar Pancharya and I am going to teach you HTML5 from scratch. Before going to start, first we should know about what we need actually for HTML programming. First one thing is text editor like Notepad++, Sublime Text Editor, Atom and so on. And second thing is browser. You can use any browser like Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome. The choice will be all yours, guys. So let's get started. What is HTML? The HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. You know, guys, it's not actually programming language. It's a markup language which is used to create web pages and web documents. It is nothing but the building block of the web page. When we think about HTML, the first question comes in mind: why HTML? So the answer is because it uses plain text, it works on all computers, it doesn't describe how documents look, but it describes what documents mean. It is easy to write, and most important thing is it's free, because HTML doesn't cost anything. It isn't owned by anyone, so that's why HTML is very popular nowadays. When we work on HTML, firstly we should know about how HTML file can be saved. So HTML file must be end with the extension HTML or .htm. To run the HTML files we need a browser, as we discussed earlier, like Chrome or Firefox. It doesn't require any kind of server like Apache, Tomcat, no server. So that's the strength of the HTML programming. Okay guys, so move on to the another term, that HTML tag syntax. The special element of HTML are tags. It's everything about tag. They aren't meant to be displayed on the web pages, but offer instruction to the web browser about the meaning of the text. Each text has beginning and the end of the tag. As you see in this syntax, tag name, content, and the tag name with slash. So this is the syntax of tag. End tag is just like beginning tag, except the end tag has a slash. You can see, for example, h1 and h1, and the starting and end tag are similar, but the except end tag has a slash. Okay, another example is p. So this is the basic syntax for tag. So like any other programming, HTML has its own programming structure. So you can see first line is something angle bracket, then exclamation mark with doc type in capital letters, and the rest of the terms used in tags are in lowercase like HTML. The first line in HTML, the doc type HTML, it informs the browser that the document type is HTML. This is how the browser knows you will be writing an HTML5 document. This is the pattern of HTML5, doc type HTML. Okay guys, the next tag is HTML, and you can see at the end of the code there is HTML tag with slash. So between these the whole code will be written for the web pages or web document. In HTML5 you are expected to tell the browser which language the page will be written in. So in this course, when I am going to write the code or teach you, then I am going to use the English language. So at that time I will add the language English to know the browser I am using. Because I write English, I'm specifying with the code en. So we'll see in the later example. The head and head, you are saying head tag and end of the head tag. This tag defines a special part of the web page called header. Because we are learning only HTML, not any CSS or any scripting language, so for now the only thing I'll put in the header section is the title. As you see, there is a title tag with page title, some content. This tag is used to determine the page's title. The title usually contains ordinary text. Many browsers put the title text in the browser's title bar. Sometimes search engines often use the title to describe the pages. Moving onward, we see the body text, web page content, and enclosed in between the body tag. The page's main content is contained within these tags. Most of the HTML code and the stuffs the user sees are in the body area. So this is all about the structure of the HTML tag. So I'm going to write a small example in HTML. So before going to start, I'm going to save this file as 1.html. Then I'm going to write the first line, as we have seen, that exclamation mark, then doc type and HTML, and then closing angle. In next line I'll write HTML, and I said earlier that we have to inform the browser which language you are going to use for the web document. So here I mentioned language EN, the code used for English. Then I'll specify the head tag. In between you can use title tag to specify the page title. So I'll write here my first HTML page, or we can write it first HTML page. After head tag, as following syntax, I'm writing here body tag, and I am closing this with body. In this section I'm going to use something like h1 tag, and this heading 1 or something, heading level 1. This h1 stands for heading level 1 tag. Any text content within this markup treated as a prominent heading. We can write any other paragraph like p tag. I'm ending it with slash, or I can write something like this, or you can use lorem keyword and simply enter tab. So you will see the rest of the content automatically added to the document. It is by default text used for dummy documents or dummy web pages at the time of the creation. Okay, so this p tag, what actually do? This p stands for paragraph, and the structure is one way to manage the spacing before and after each paragraph in your document. HTML doesn't preserve white spaces, and that's why we have to use p tag. That is, if you press enter in your code to move text to the new line, that new line isn't preserved in the final web page. So before that, I'll show you how this page looks in the browser. So opening in browser, here is the result. So you can see guys, I have used h1 tag, and that's why this content is shown in the browser in very different manner, like bold, and the size is very much big than this paragraph content. As I said, if I enter here and write again lorem and tab and save it, and when I refresh the browser, the effect you can see, because I have used here a p tag, and that's why the spacing is defined here. If I remove this p from my code, then we'll see the effect of this. So you can see that both paragraphs are merged in single paragraph. So that's why there in HTML document white spaces are not allowed. So this is all about the introduction of HTML5 and the first example. If you like my video, so please share and like my channel, subscribe my channel.